In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a simple yet very elegant cake topper for your next celebration. If you're new here, my name is Nisha. Welcome to Little Craft Nest. For our project today, we will be needing cardstock. I'll be using both glitter cardstock and regular cardstock. You will also be needing some glue. I'm going to be using a dot glue runner and also some hot glue. We'll be using a bamboo skewer and also our Cricut cutting machine. Let's head over to the computer and get our project started. I've opened up a new project here on Cricut Design Space, and the first thing I'm going to do is insert our text. Congrats. And I'm going to do each line of text in a different box just so I can move them around easier. Matt. And Carrie. And I'm going to change the font to one of my favorites. It's called Smoothie. There it is, Smoothie Shop. And we will change all our text to that font. Now, when making a cake topper, we don't want any pieces floating by themselves in the air. So we need to attach all our pieces and make them look good. So let's start by moving them around and see what type of design we can come up with here. All right, and you'll notice how I have like the top of the M here touching our C, and then the T and the G are touching our and I did that all the way through so we don't have any loose pieces. Now for Carrie here, we have the E, R, R, I just kind of floating off in space by themselves. So we need to fix that. So I'm going to click on Carrie and we are going to ungroup this word. Now each letter is separate in its own little text box. So I'm just going to highlight those four letters together. Oh, I got the K there. I'm just going to click on them one at a time and hold down my Shift key, and that way I can highlight each individual letter. Now that I have these four letters highlighted, I can move them over together, and I'm going to have that E just touch the K. And you'll also notice our dot on our I is floating in the air as well. So we're going to need to attach that somehow, but we will do that in a little bit. I think I'm going to make the word congrats just a little bigger, so let me just do a little more rearranging here. Now, once you got your letters to where you want them to be, you're going to have to weld the whole image together. But before we do that, let's zoom in so you can see this design better. And before I weld anything, I like to make another copy of it, because once you weld something, you can't go back and make changes. And so if you ever need to make changes, you can easily do that. So I'm just going to highlight my entire image. I'm going to press attach, duplicate at the top right, and then I'm just going to press this I here and hide that layer. So that is gone, and that's just there if we ever need to go back and make changes. Now for this image here, we're going to go down to the bottom and press weld. And now this entire thing is one image. And you can easily go ahead and cut this out like this. But what I'm going to do is create an offset for this image first, and that way we kind of have two different layers going on. So if we go up to the top and press offset, you'll see that it's created this outline around our words here. So I like our outline to be a little smaller. It's at 0.25 right now. So I'm just going to go to 0.1 and then press apply. And now what we have done is created two different layers. So we've got a gray layer here, and that's the original layer. And back here, this is our offset layer. So we're going to be gluing these two layers together. But we still need to address our little I dot here. So I'm not going to do it on our top layer, but our offset layer here, I'm going to go to the side and grab a shape. We're going to get the square, and I'm going to unlock it in the bottom left corner, and I'm just going to make this into a tiny little rectangle here. And I'm going to attach the I dot and the bottom of our eye together. So I'm just going to line that up there, and then I'm going to highlight both my rectangle and the offset image, and we are going to press weld at the bottom right. And now our dot is not floating out in space. Now let's bring this image forward again. So arrange at the top, send to front, and we can just glue this eye dot on top of there now, and it's not going to look too funky and it won't be floating off anywhere. Now the colors I am going to be using for this cake topper, I'm going to do this top layer in a glitter blue cardstock, and the back layer I'm actually just going to keep as black. But before we make it, we gotta size it. So I'm going to select both images, and we're going to go to the top. Right now it says it's 8.5 inches wide, and that's way too wide. I'm only going to make this 6 inches wide. And now we can go ahead and save our project, and we can go ahead and make it. So on our first mat, we'll be loading our black cardstock, and on our second mat, we'll be loading our blue cardstock. Now our black layer is not glitter, but our second layer is glitter cardstock. So we're going to be needing to change our settings in between both the cuts. So for our first cut, let's press continue, and we're just going to select medium cardstock. So let's go ahead and get this cut out. I have this scrap piece of black cardstock, which is just the right size for my design. So I'm going to lay this on my mat, load it into my machine to get our design cut out. Now, before we go ahead and load our glitter cardstock, we're going to come up here and click on base material. I'm going to press browse all materials, and I'm going to type in glitter card, and there's glitter cardstock. Just click on that, press done, and we can go ahead and load our materials. When placing the glitter cardstock down on the mat, make sure the glitter side is facing up at you. When removing the cardstock from our mat, we want to peel very slowly because we don't want to bend our design. So slowly peel the mat back off the cardstock. If that isn't working, you can use your spatula tool to help gently remove it from the mat. Our cake topper is looking really good. All we need to do is glue it together. I'm going to use this dot glue runner to attach the two pieces of cardstock together. My bamboo skewer is pretty big, so I'm going to cut it down a little first. Then I'm going to use my hot glue gun to attach the stick. Once the glue dries, our cake topper is ready to be placed on a cake. Just a little safety warning though, if you are planning on using candles, please be very careful. I have lit a cake topper on fire before. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, press that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified when I upload a new video. I hope to see you on more crafting adventures.